your crimes.
The reason I suspected that was a honeypot is because Jimmy Carter pardoned, after the Vietnam War, he pardoned everyone who had dodged the draft as part of the Vietnam War. He did that as a blanket pardon without naming any names. So it seemed very suspect to me that Trump would need individual names and crimes to be able to pardon them.
That was ceremonial, right? That was like a healing a wound move by Jimmy Carter. It wasn't...
No one was going after them.
Because we weren't prosecuting those Vietnam vets.
Sure. And so but it was never litigated, so it became a precedent. I think... I do think that Trump probably... I mean, this would be a very interesting court case, but I do think he could issue a blanket pardon to everyone on the mall that day. It's possible. I'm not saying he should. I think it's a terrible idea.
And that would be to our earlier point of escalation as opposed to de-escalation.
Sacks, being our lawyer and our historian, what is the origin of the presidential pardon? How is that even legal? And how did we end up in a place in this country where any law could be superseded by the president telling you it's okay for you to break this law and pardon you after the fact or even before the fact?
It exists because it's in the Constitution. The framers of the Constitution put it in there. I don't know what their thinking was. I've never really studied that. It is almost a residue of, or a vestigial monarchical power that somehow was included in the Constitution.
It's incredible, right? I mean, like
the intention of it, my understanding was to correct injustices that occurred, so that it would be a backstop against somebody who was
by the judgment of the one guy.
The judgment of the one guy.
Outside of the courts, it's like crazy that,
it relies on tradition. It relies on, people buying into America, right? And I think that's the Trump stress test. And I can't wait till we don't talk about this guy anymore.
I'd love to see an amendment getting rid of the pardon powers. I don't know. I never feel good about it. I
feel like
the court should be where you should adjudicate appeals and such. But hey.
All right. Well, listen, we've beaten this to death.
Can I end on something?
Let's end on something uplifting.
I took a bunch of SPACs public at the end of last year, and on Friday, one of the vehicles that I'm the CEO of merged with SoFi. And I want to tell you something about the CEO of SoFi, Anthony Noto. And I think he'll be okay because he's shared this story a couple times. But his parents got divorced when he was 3 years old. He grew up on welfare, food stamps, sort of free lunch kids until middle school. Went to the West Point. Was an all-star stock analyst, was the CFO of the NFL, was the CFO of Twitter, then the COO of Twitter. And you guys know my story, but, ended up in the United States after growing up in Canada, after escaping a civil war. I grew up on welfare, and I said to Anthony, what are the odds that two kids who grew up that way could have ended up in a moment where we were part of doing something really amazing that, for each of us was a meaningful accomplishment? And he said, only in America. Only in America. This is
Let's keep that dream alive.
Single best fucking country in the goddamn world.
100%. And it's worth fighting for, and it's worth having these debates. And I think it's worth doing the pod. And so I'd like to suggest,
American
David,
Constitution,
we keep the pod going.
Stop, Jason. The American Constitution is the most incredible fucking document because that is the foundation on which all of these things are built. It's just the most amazing thing. So I am really glad that we're all having this conversation. And I would just say, guys, keep the faith. Let's put the light back on Donald Trump. I would have as much sympathy as possible for as many of those folks in the Capitol. Maybe not the folks that were intending to do harm. Maybe not zip tie guy, but there's a lot of other people that just got caught in the undertow. I would try to have sympathy for them. And I would really, don't lose focus now, people. Donald Trump, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, stay fucking
Rudy
vigilant.
Giuliani.
I would also
love you guys.
Think about doing something for someone else this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's all do something nice. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
All right. Love you, besties. Love you, Sacks.
Love you, Saxy.
Love you, Saxy Poo.
Come on, Saxy, say it. God damn it. This is the time.
Say it.
Back at you.
Say it.
Back at you.
Oh,
Back at you.
We'll let your winners ride.
Rain Man David Sacks.
And instead, we open source it to the fans.
fans, and they've just gone crazy with it.
Love you, besties. Queen of quinoa. Besties are gone. Go 13. That's my dog taking a notice in your driveway. Sacks.
Oh man.
My haberdasher will meet me at Flynn's. We should all just get a room and just have one big huge orgy because they're all just useless. It's like this sexual tension that they just need to release somehow. Wet your beak. Wet your beak.
What?
We need to get merch. Besties are back.
I'm going all in.